Secretary Mr. C.A. Ketan Sanghvi, and the Treasurer C.A. Ashwin Gala. Welcome, sir, on behalf of Matushri Manibai Shivji Devji Kelavani, Kanya Kelavani Fund.
So I'll be introducing the moderator for our panel session, Technology in Law, Bhavik Girish Lalan. Bhavik is a law graduate from Government Law College, Churchgate, Mumbai, and he began his legal career in 2010 by working with two leading solicitor firms, Seidril Amarchand Mangaldas and MS Bodanwala and Corporates. Since 2018, he is practicing as a counsel at Bombay High Court and specializes in civil, commercial, constitutional, testamentary, and arbitration disputes. Since 2019, Bhavik works from a paperless office and has adopted technology in his day-to-day practice. Bhavik takes deep interest in exploring new technology for making part of his legal practice. I will request him to introduce the panelists.
Good evening, my dear ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to present ourselves before you with a very challenging and an interesting topic, which is tech and law. So I take privilege to introduce our first speaker for today, Mr. Suril Nishit Desai. Suril Bhai is a lawyer at Nishit Desai Associates. He mainly looks after the practice which is concerned with the blockchain and crypto practice at Nishit Desai. Regarding some of his personal interests, he is a documentary filmmaker as well as poet and a painter. He holds bachelor's degree in science from international management from Menlo College, California. Before practicing in India and before settling down in India, he stayed for 6 years in California, after which he graduated from Government Law College, Mumbai. He also specializes in criminology and also attended a diploma course in advanced legal studies in counterterrorism from Netherlands. He's also made a documentary named a documentary on Iran Khan, who was a reformed militant commander of JKLF, that is Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. He's also taken virtual lessons in investigative journalism from Julian Assange. He was invited in 2013 as a speaker on big data at Germany Russian Young Leaders Forum in St. Petersburg. In 2016, Suril Bhai spoke at United Nations Young Changemakers Conclave. Presently, Suril Bhai works on various assignments dealing with the technology and the digital currency, which includes crypto and Bitcoin. We have pleasure to have with us Suril Bhai today. My next panelist is Advocate Forum Gala. Forum is the founder partner at FNS Law Chambers. They practice mainly in Mumbai and Navi Mumbai. Her domain practice area includes civil and criminal litigation, along with having her expertise in alternate dispute resolution, family and matrimonial cases. She is accredited as an arbitrator and mediator. She is empaneled with esteemed institutions like Indian Institute of Arbitration and Mediation, SAMA, and ADR ODR International, United Kingdom. Beyond her legal prowess, Forum is committed to various social causes. She is passionately serving as an advocate with Nyay Bandhu, a Government of India initiative offering pro bono legal aid to marginalized and underprivileged communities, showcasing her dedication to justice and equity in the society. Welcome, Forum. And my third panelist today is Vaibhavi Khutia, a Mumbai-based mediator with Masters in Mediation and Conflict Resolution from Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai, leading the mediation team at Presolve 360, which is a complete digital-based ODR mechanism which deals into alternate dispute resolution mechanisms of arbitration, mediation and conciliation. Forums, Vaibhavi's approach is based on solution-based solutions on aiming to find out common grounds to resolve the disputes of parties by using ADR. She's passionate about conflict resolution and communication. She's dedicated to helping others through her platform called Presolve 360. Welcome, Vaibhavi. So, ladies and gentlemen, today the entire topic will move like this. I'll explain the flow of the event. We have three esteemed speakers, very young, dynamic, and let me tell you, since we are talking about law and technology, we all will have to appreciate one thing, that we may not have two seniors or experienced seniors with us, but the one which we have are dynamic enough to adopt the changes and to bring changes in society with their own acumen and their zest. So please once again welcome all our three speakers. And with this, I will invite Suril Bhai first to discuss about his approach in crypto and the technology. He will be speaking on this entire topic. Being an expert on this, I'm very sure you all are going to benefit a lot. The floor is yours, Suril Bhai.
Good evening. I believe we are one of the last panels, and there's one more panel after this. But if I start talking about crypto and all, I think I'll take up the whole 1 hour myself, because I'm very passionate about it. And I discovered it in 2012, and at that time, I was researching privatization or space exploration. And I've always been, I studied in Silicon Valley for 6 years and lived there, so very close to the cutting edge technology and cutting edge technology people. But the one thing that I've learned throughout about technology is that it stops for no one. It doesn't stop for law, it doesn't stop for anyone. You know, technology is just going to keep on getting better and better and better. You know, if we look at the way it's and the cost of technology is going to go lower and lower and lower. You know, like if you asked me in the 1960s for a computer, it would occupy a tennis court size and it would have less memory than your mobile phone. You know, and if we see the evolution of technology from the perspective that it's, you know, there are a lot of philosophical interpretations of technology. You know, we read about technology as, right now we just think of, you know, all this modern day cutting edge stuff. But if you look back in our mythology, if you look back in our cultural histories, you know, there has been advancements of technology happening since the age of fire. You know, so, and with fire and with the wheel, all of that is technology. But we tend to forget that, you know, that it's so important part of our modern day times. And it's important to understand that technology cannot be controlled by anyone. You know, you can have regulations, but, you know, regulations can only stop or ban. But beyond that, they can't do anything else, because, you know, you can ban, you know, the government has banned so many crypto exchanges, foreign crypto exchanges from working in and operating in India, but you can circumvent it. You know, you get a VPN and boom, you are connected back onto those things that are banned. And so what I feel is that the governments have to look at technology as an inevitable factor of our life. You know, it's science. It's about scientific discovery, and scientific discovery has no limitations. You know, the philosophy of many scientists is that I have to challenge the theory of the topmost scientist and make my own theory. And then the next scientist does that to that scientist, and that's how science has progressed. That's how science has evolved. But if you look at law and regulation, it has been more about control and command. So first we had the kings, then we had, you know, monarchs, we had feudal lords, then we had the current form of democratic governance and parliamentary form of government. And now we are entering a whole new era where the governments are not as powerful, but technology companies are more powerful than governments today. You know, with technology like Google and Facebook and Twitter and TikToks of the world, they have become more powerful and they have more information about people than the governments themselves. And there's this battle happening that's being played out right now between the technologists and the governments across the world. You know, so the regulators are mostly coming from the background of law and philosophy, whereas technologists is coming from science and philosophy. So and the laws are being made by mostly by lawyers and that community. But today we don't have enough representation of scientists in our parliaments across the world. There are hardly any scientists, and it's important that we understand this fact. And the one point that I would like to make is that we need more scientists. We had Abdul Kalam Azad as one of our most prolific scientists who became the president of the country. And we need more such people in our governance level, because what a scientist understands about technology, a politician will never understand. He'll never get into that level of depth. So we need to have more participation of the scientific community in the regulation and the regulatory framework. That would be... I'm sorry I didn't talk much about crypto, because that's a very passionate subject of mine, and I've been following it since 2012, and I speak a lot about it, so I wanted to separate that identity from this identity.
Thank you. But Cyril bhai, we are not going to leave you. I have a few questions for you. So when you talk about the technologically advanced companies controlling more than the government, how do you see the future of the world in such an era where the companies like Facebook or WhatsApp will be controlling and influencing the minds and the affairs of the nation and world at large?
So, I mean, sometime back there was a report that came out which said that how Facebook was interfered with during Donald Trump's election, and in India's case it was Modi's first term, and how they utilized social media and how political activity was run through social media campaigns. And if you remember, there was the Arab Spring which happened in Middle East, where Libya, Syria, and Bahrain and all had mass large-scale protests, which were again run on the platform of Facebook and Twitter. So, and now, because they were so accessible, Facebook is the third largest nation in the world, and never in the history of humanity have 1 billion people been able to talk to each other so seamlessly. In earlier era, before the advent of these technologies, it would be like the kings and the queens would talk to each other, but their own subjects would not talk to each other. They would have, and to travel you would need a letter from the king, and then you would need passport and things like that. But now technology just makes it, just at a push of a button, you can send a message to a whole wide world. And who controls that? Who should have the right to control that? It's because constitutionally, it's freedom of expression, but freedom of expression beyond the boundaries of your own nation. So Americans can come and post things in India, Indians can post things in America, and so right now we are in the middle of a very enhanced technological revolution that's taking place quietly, and it's going to be very difficult to decide who's going to control it. The governments say they control it, the companies say they control it, but end of the day it boils down to the individual. As an individual, the data is your currency. Data is the most powerful thing right now. It's been called the new oil. But data, if you just have, so in the crypto world, in the Web3 era that we are entering, it's all about control of your own data. You know, how can you leverage your data and make some livelihood out of it? So, I mean, it's a very open-ended question. You know, like the governments will restrict data from flowing in and out, but they'll also not be able to control it because it's seamless. Like, it's like the ocean. You know, like the ocean, you have waves, they come and they go, but no one controls the ocean. You know, you can do mining, you can do oil drilling in the oceans, but you can't actually control the tidal waves. So these waves will keep on flowing in and out. So there'll be parts of it which will be controlled by the government, parts of it will be controlled by the companies, and parts will be controlled by you yourself as a user.
Wonderful, thank you. So friends, we have lot many entrepreneurs who are sitting with us. Suril Bhai, being an expert, gave us a very insightful indication that all our startup experts and individuals should consider to have data banks, should consider to have a business which will have more control on the data, and make sure that this is going to be a huge practice and a huge industry for you all. With this, I would now come to Forum Gala, our next speaker. The discussion for Forum's speech will be practical use of technology and AI in our day-to-day life. Forum.
So like Bhavik mentioned, I'll be speaking about practical uses of technology and AI in the legal sector today. Now, when we speak about the legal sector, it generally comprises of three things. One is the judiciary, that is the court system. We have lawyers and we have law firms. And we also have law enforcement agencies, that is the police authorities, etc. And one common thought that comes when we think of the legal sector and the courts in general is elaborate procedures, is prolonged timelines, is undue delay in justice delivery system, and so on and so forth. Well, what are the reasons behind it? The reasons behind it are, of course, dearth of technology, the use of technology and infrastructure in the court system, and the judge-to-population ratio that is not commensurate today. And it has been since the COVID-19 pandemic that technology has brought about a tectonic shift in how technology is being used in order to function in the court system, in order for lawyers and law firms to function in their day-to-day life. And I'll give you an example as to how we are using technology in our practical life. Now, if we speak about the court system and the judiciary, COVID-19 and later started with virtual hearings. Virtual hearings meaning that we, from the comfort of our homes, could attend hearings of the Supreme Court, of the High Court, and other courts. That made it very cost-effective, that made it very time-efficient. Moving further, there is also live streaming of cases today, where any kind of important cases of Constitution Bench, especially, it's all live streamed on TV. So technology is now also making the common man very aware as to how the procedures are working in court and how courts are taking decisions with respect to important matters. Of course, not confidential matters, but very important matters. And that's what technology is doing, making it more transparent, making it more inclusive. And if I give you an example as to how technology is making the system more inclusive, AI and technology is being incorporated in the sector in a way where previously we had hard copies of judgments, especially Supreme Court reporters, High Court judgments, which were being available at a high subscription. Not all students, not all lawyers could afford it. Today we have digitized versions of it, which are completely free of cost for law students, for law professionals. Whether you can afford it or not, it is available for you all. And one step forward, the courts have also made an initiative in order to make these judgments available not only in English, but in all vernacular languages, which are officially recognized by the Constitution. So someone who cannot understand English, someone who cannot understand or read the language, we have vernacular languages available. So it's keeping the common man very aware as to what's going on in the courts and what cases the Supreme Court, High Courts, and the other courts are referring to when it comes to the system. When we speak about case research, so for example, when I go before a court, Supreme Court or a High Court, with respect to a case, now the judge has to use his mind in order to kind of mine the entire case with respect to, okay, what is the pattern in which similar cases have been decided in the past? What is the kind of research I need to do? What are the statutory laws that I need to refer to? What are case laws, etc.? But today we have tech and AI being used in a way that a large number of data in the courts is kind of consolidated and very easily available for judges to help decide their decision. So what AI and tech is doing is assisting judges in coming up with more efficient and effective decisions when it comes to the court system. Now this entire system, AI, tech, and machine learning is making the judiciary and the court system not only transparent, not only available for common man, not only inclusive, but also effective and more efficient, wherein there will be, in coming times, lesser delay in declaring decisions with respect to judgments, and also a lesser backlog when it comes to decisions. If I give you a few highlights as to how we lawyers and law firms are using technology and AI in our day-to-day lives. Initially, the first thought, of course, when it comes to lawyers is about we moving from one court to another, not even moving, running from one court to another in briefcases of files. Today, the scenario has absolutely changed. We have paperless benches in the High Court. We have applications which help us. Is the PPT moving? No? Okay. So we have applications wherein we understand as to what date the case is on and we get notifications about the same. As to what stage the case is on, we get notifications about the same. We have e-documentation where we upload all our case files, documents, we manage our cases absolutely electronic, which is a huge move in saving paper. So this is the way where we are able to manage our cases better. Now again, when it comes to preparation of a case, supposing a client comes to us and we have to prepare for a case. Now again, there goes a lot of research behind that as to what are the previous judgments that the court has come up with. And we have tech, we have AI and we have tech that is helping us in assisting in order to prepare a case, basically, wherein we understand as to, okay, these are the past judgments with respect to this particular topic. It also assists us. There's a very interesting software which we use in our firms called CaseMind, where it assists us in preparing better for our arguments. For example, what possible arguments would be coming from the opposite party? We can kind of prepare it very well. For example, if my case is in a particular judge's court, okay, I want to understand as to how the judge has been thinking with respect to similar matters, the thought process of the judges. We are able to prepare better, and AI helps us making our work very easy, very convenient, and very effective and efficient, and that's how we are using it. We have virtual assistants that we are using, for example, Amicus, which does the work of 4 juniors. We just have to put in a direction as to, oh, I want legal provisions with respect to XYZ. And it helps us get case laws, statutory provisions, laws in just a click of a button. And that's how our work as lawyers and inside law firms has become, again, very speedy, very convenient, very effective. And we are able to better prepare a case and better provide for our clients with the use of so much technology. Again, lastly, when it comes to law enforcement agencies, especially the police, again, the government's vision of Digital India, where now we have a consolidated platform where judges, judiciary, lawyers, we are all working in tandem. For example, if I go to a police station for a passport verification, the police immediately knows as to, oh, there are pending cases with respect to this party, or she's been convicted in a matter, or she's been acquitted in a matter. And that's how the entire system is being consolidated and standardized when it comes to the legal sector. So of course, there's a lot of hope as to we will have a lesser pendency in cases, we will have more efficient and effective decisions at a faster rate, and we will have a reduced backlog of cases, So technology definitely is percolating in the sector. We have the higher judiciary absolutely paperless, absolutely digitized. It's percolating in the lower sector. We as lawyers are using it, and I think it's a boon, it's a huge boon to be using technology to our advantage, provided we don't become completely dependent on it. And the only way forward, I think, is to adopt to technology, adapt to technology, and embrace it with open arms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Forum. With this, now we have some questions for Forum as well. So, Forum, according to you, and I think this would be question amongst all of us, that will AI ever replace our learned judges in the court?
So I think it depends on how we as a system use AI and technology to our advantage. We are not here to make robotic lawyers. We are not even here to make robotic judges. Because the justice system is such that the human element has to be retained. You know, especially if I take an example of the criminal justice system. You know, there is not a single witness that comes before a court and testifies whose statement is not exaggerated, not embellished, and absolutely correct. And that is the limitation of technology, where the judges come across and observe the human demeanor of the judge, the body language, the emotions, the eye contact, you know. But technology has its limitation. It can never understand a human emotion. It can never understand the psychology of that person. So definitely not, it cannot replace lawyers, it cannot replace judges, but what it most certainly can do is make our entire work convenient, effective, efficient, and kind of accessible and transparent. And that's what technology is doing.
Point very well taken, Forum. So technology will be helpful in our profession, but it can't replace the lawyers or the judges. There is one more concern which we see, that with the use of technology accessible at a very low cost, how do we see our privacy in terms of when we have virtual hearings and we have live streaming?
Privacy is a concern. Now, we recently have the Data Confidentiality Act that has been passed, I think, last year, and that we hope that it works in our favor in the right direction. But when it comes to privacy and confidentiality, we need our systems more secure, we need our servers more robust, and that's the only way forward. We can only be cautious, we can only make that human effort to kind of be more secure, take more appropriate steps to make it very, very secure, confidential, but there are some things that are not in our hands, and we'll have to leave it to the acts and the laws and the government to kind of make the regulations and rules more stronger and robust.
Very well. So with this, I also have some insights to share, because Forum and myself, we both practice in dispute resolution. So friends, let me tell you that when we talk about technology in India, the COVID and the post-COVID era is an era of reformation and a landmark reformation. Today, the costs in litigation, at one point of time, we all used to fear going to courts or approaching a lawyer. We today can have your entire legal proceeding in matters like arbitration completely online by using the digital technology. This has drastically reduced the costs of entire process. And we have a very expert speaker to speak on this with us, and I will invite Vaibhavi to take the floor.
Hello. Can I just, with the show of hands, understand how many of you have mobile phone here? So clearly you can all do online dispute resolution. So you're prepared for the new world which is evolving into ODR, which was ADR and now ODR. Also with, હું અગર ગુજરાતીમાં વાત કરું તો કેટલા લોકોને સમજમાં આવશે? હું અગર કચ્છીમાં વાત કરું તો કેટલા લોકોને સમજમાં આવશે? If I talk in English, how many of you can understand? And if I talk in Marwadi, how many of you can understand? But imagine if you had a technology, if मैं जो भी language में चाहूँ बोलूँ और यहाँ पे आपको transcription आए. That's the wonder of technology into the legal world. So, moving forward. 4,44,56,369. આટલા બધા numbers તો મેં lawમાં ક્યારે ભણ્યા પણ નથી. Because lawyers are the ones who would run away from numbers. Trust me. these are the total number of cases pending as of now when we are talking, out of which civil cases are more than 1 CR, and more than 1 year old cases are 77 lakhs. So, and this number is not decreasing, but increasing annually from 2.8%. So, it's time that we adopt to a newer transition to ADR so that we don't overcrowd our judges. But how? Next slide. So, online dispute resolution, it's nothing but a, for example, agar hu tamne kahu कि we had panchayat system in our villages, right? That is still there. We have elders in our family who help us resolve dispute. That is still there. That's how, similarly, we have arbitration, we have mediation, we have conciliation, negotiation, everything. For that matter, courts as well. Imagine all of this shifting online. सब कुछ वही है, सिर्फ digital हो गया है. So, online dispute resolution is nothing but a way where technology is helping you resolve your dispute faster and in a cost-effective manner. It is efficient and it is accessible. Nana thi nano manas kaho, ke mota thi moto manas kaho. Everybody has the power to resolve his or her dispute because that is how technology is helping you. With the click of the button, you can register your case. With the click of the button, you will be able to do all your paperwork, attend sessions, attend hearings, and at your phone, in your hand, you will get the order as well. So that's how technology is helping us in resolving dispute faster. And of course, innovative way in the traditional court processes is the way forward. And now the courts have also started accepting technology in terms of live transcription, right? We also have a system in place where agar koi sambhdi nathi sakto, somebody who cannot hear, somebody who cannot speak, agar if that person wants to get represented or that person has a case in court, itna kar se. We also have live sign language transcriptions in our ODR platform services that Presolve is providing. So even that is available right now. So it is, the ODR world is inclusive. એટલે બધાને help કરે છે. It's not only just the people who have power, but from lowest to the lowest and the highest to the highest person has access to technology. Benefits of online dispute resolution. The first example which I was telling you, multiple languages में आपको आपका dispute resolve करने का chance मिलता है. It's not only Hindi, English, Marathi, or for that matter, any vernacular language. Accessible on laptops and mobile phones. Literally, this thing can do wonders. You can do everything with this. And also, online dispute resolution is a simplified dispute resolution process because you are choosing how you want to resolve dispute. Court, you have a process to follow, right? But in online dispute resolution, which is nothing but an alternative dispute resolution, where mediation, conciliations, ima procedures nathi. But there is a step where you register your case, you have a neutral in place. Neutral એટલે કે imagine અગર હું અને મારો ભાઈ એક ટીવી રિમોટ માટે ફાઇટ કરી રહ્યા છે કે મને આ જોવું છે ને એને બીજું કંઈ જોવું છે. But when my mom comes into the picture, she will help us, okay, 1 hour is your time, next 1 hour is your time. My mom here played a role of a neutral, conciliator, mediator, arbitrator. Who, एक simple language માં કહું છું so that you can connect with it. But of course it has different meanings in legal language. So as a mediator, the mediator gives the power to the parties to resolve their disputes. So similarly, online, agar tame ODR space ma jao છો, the law is giving you power to decide તમને કેવી રીતના તમારો case solve કરવો છે and which process you want to follow. With the help of technology, now we've been able to send the digital communication in multiple channels, be it like WhatsApp ઉપરથી પણ આજકાલ લોકો dispute resolve કરે છે. In consumer લોક અદાલત that we've seen, some of the people were able to participate through Zoom or through any virtual conference, but with the help of WhatsApp video call and WhatsApp call, we were able to connect the parties from the remotest location કે એ લોક અદાલતમાં પ્રેઝન્ટ થઈ શક્યો અને એમનું કેસ એમને પોતાએ પ્રેઝન્ટ કર્યો કે this is what my issue is. So even WhatsApp is doing wonders and it's helping us. Of course, independent છે અને impartial છે. Conducive for resolving multi-party dispute across geographical distance. So now this is one of the biggest advantage of resolving dispute online. So imagine તમારા ફાધરની ડિસ્પ્યુટ છે એ કચ્છમાં છે બટ he still has to be here to just be there even if તમારો lawyer છે તમે પોતે એમને represent કરો છો. But how are you going to do all of this? And imagine if he has to travel only for one session, right? So geographical location does not matter in online dispute resolution. You can be anywhere in the world. You just need to connect through internet and you are there. Of course, technology helps automation of mundane tasks. So જેટલા પણ administrative work હોય જે day to day કોર્ટમાં થતા હોય but all of that can be, I won't say replaced, but technology will help you do it faster, do it efficiently. And reduction in cost. When I was telling you about geographical location, if you have to hire a lawyer just for a meeting, you would travel from place A to place B. Second thing, from when you have a hearing, you travel from place A to place B. So every time all of this is happening, or you are involving more and more people into this entire case resolution process, you will incur some cost. But when it comes to online dispute resolution, specifically, suppose your case is going on and you want somebody, an international arbitrator, but how are you going to, ek to arbitration fees thodik expensive hoy, emathi you have to accommodate emna je pan arbitrator avse ya tame jya travel karso. So imagine all of those X costs જે આપણે કેસ કન્સિડરેશનમાં તો લેતા જ નથી એ બધા સેકન્ડરી કોસ્ટ છે જે આમ જ લાગતા હોય છે but with the help of online dispute resolution all of these costs gets reduced and of course it's helping the judiciary in lowering the backlog. So yeah, so one of the case studies that I would like to tell you એ મારું પોતાનું first hand experience છે. So I'm working with a company called Prisol 360 જ્યાં mediations અમે લોકો court referred mediations કરીએ છીએ. There was this one case during COVID which was referred to us from Bombay High Court. And it was a typical COVID case as well. There was one company which was in Taiwan and it was dealing with one of the Indian company somewhere in Jogeshwari. They had to supply some material and the material were with respect to making of the mask. So a urgency hati ke tyare ne tyare j deliver pan thai to the Taiwanese company who would, and it was raw material. So they will then make mask and then supply and cater to the people in Taiwan. Now the dispute has arisen because they weren't able to send the material and now we are stuck here. Imagine if this case had to resolve in a normal litigation process. જ્યાં સુધી COVID પતી જાત, એના પછી બીજું કંઈક આવી જાત, ત્યાં સુધી probably we could have seen some conclusion in that case. But this was taken in online dispute resolution via e-mediation. We have resolved this case in 45 days, where the Taiwanese companies had a lawyer based out of Pune. So the company had joined online, their lawyers had joined online. Mumbai-based company and their Delhi-based lawyers had joined online. And there is a mediator who is based out of Chennai. So everybody is here and they have been able to resolve this dispute in 45 days with the help of technology, with the help of online dispute resolution. So this is the wonder of technology. Next slide. To conclude, I would just like to say that India advanced થવા માટે જઈ રહી છે. But we have a lack of effectiveness in conflict management right now, because of which the judicial system is getting overburdened. But if we take shifts to ADR and with the help of technological integration, we will be able to progress in the judicial process, and that will in return help in the business environment, because we'll have less disputes in this whole business environment, which will help you do business in a better way and also help our GDP. So enhancing India's ease of doing business and આપણી જે ranking છે એને પણ એ convertly help પણ કરે છે. So yeah, next slide. So I would just like to conclude that એવું નથી કે અમે લોકો when we say technology will replace people, because I wanted to answer Bhavik sir's question at that point. Humans can never replace, or technology can never replace humans. અગર તમે આજે NEFTમાં બેંક ટ્રાન્સફર કરો છો, બેંકમાં તો માણસો કામ કરે જ છે ને, ટેકનોલોજીએ સિર્ફ હેલ્પ કર્યું તમને આ ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે. સો વિથ રિસ્પેક્ટ ટુ ઇવન જજીસ, the human intervention and jurisprudence will always be required, but technology will help you get there. It will help the judges make decision better. So yeah, I would like to end on that note.
Thank you very much, Vaibhavi. There are few quick questions which I will pose to you. Since we all are sitting here, we may have a little bit of curiosity કે જો આટલું easy હોય આ તમારું પ્લેટફોર્મ અથવા કોઈ પણ ODR પ્લેટફોર્મ યુઝ કરવું, તો અમે કેવી રીતે આ ODR પ્લેટફોર્મ્સને અપ્રોચ કરી શકીએ?
So ODR platforms are meant to be easy, because user friendly નહીં હોય તો તમે કેવી રીતના કરશો? અને already કોર્ટ પ્રોસેસ તો ડિફિકલ્ટ છે જ, બિકોઝ અગર આજે બેસિક લો નોટિસ પણ હોય, તમે એક ટાઈમ કહેશો એક લોયર ફ્રેન્ડ છે મારું, એને કહી દઉં છું તમે વાંચવા માટે કે બરાબર છે ને મારી અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડિંગ કે નહીં. ઇમેજિન ઇફ યુ હેવ ટેકનોલોજી, એટલે જેવી રીતના હમણાં પ્રીવિયસ સેશનમાં ChatGPTનું ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન થયું હતું. People are using it in day-to-day life to make your life simpler, to understand as to આ જે ટેકનિકલ ટર્મ્સ છે એનું મતલબ શું છે, રાઈટ? ઇમેજિન આખું આ કોર્ટ પ્રોસિજર જે છે એ સિમ્પ્લિફાઈડ વર્ઝનમાં અગર તમને ADR પ્રોસેસમાં મળે છે કે આજે મારી ફાઇટ થઈ છે, આઈ નીડ વન પર્સન who will help me resolve this dispute, and who is going to listen to me, who is going to understand me કે મારી સિચ્યુએશન શું છે, and then help both of us come to a solution. તો તમે કયું પ્રોસેસ ચૂઝ કરશો? બાય ડિફોલ્ટ સમથિંગ વિચ ઇઝ સિમ્પલર અને જેમાં તમારા પાસે કંટ્રોલ હોય, ના કે જજ પાસે કે એ શું પાસ કરશે. So I think that's how it's like how you are going to be making decision ke why you should be hinting towards ADR, or why you should choose as to what you want to do.
Okay, tell us what kind of disputes can be covered in your ODR platforms?
So all of the civil litigations can be covered. Of course, criminal has some challenges and some barriers where we cannot go beyond a point. But of course, even in criminal litigation, technology is still helping. And with respect to ODR, apart from that, where negotiations are involved, or where even the family disputes, right? For that matter, એવું નથી કે emotions નથી સમજી શકતા. You still have a third person. In fact, for family disputes, the best way to go forward is ADR, because the third person is there to actually listen to you, to listen to your problems, to understand what is the actual issue. And that will help you to reach the solution faster. So most of the cases, apart from criminal, are suitable to be solved on ADR platforms.
Great. So there is one thing which I would learn, which I would like to learn from all the three speakers is we have few young faces here, and we would like to understand that how lucrative or how beneficial the profession of law will be if the technology becomes a day-to-day part of our practice. And within 1 or 2 minutes, please enlighten us with your thoughts. Suril bhai.
No, a lawyer's profession is always lucrative if you're a good lawyer, you know. And to understand law, the first thing you have to understand is anarchy. You know, when we hear the word anarchy, we think of disruption, we think of people rioting on the streets, people, you know, fighting with each other. There is complete breakdown of law, legal, but in anarchy is also in our bodies. You know, if you look at our cellulite system, our cells are in anarchy, which means that they're constantly transforming. So if you constantly have that mind which is geared to transform and change and adapt, and because technology is at a stage right now where AI already has reached the cognitive capabilities of humankind. So technology is going to take away a lot of things that we normally would be doing. You know, like if I want to write a draft of a regulation, I can ask ChatGPT. You know, robots are conducting heart surgeries. And so technology has already reached human level. The next stage is consciousness entering the field of technology. And once AI gets that it is conscious AI, quantum computing and all, that time people will be left with doing only one thing, which is being in a meditative state. So you have to enjoy meditation if you want to survive this onslaught of technology that's going to come. And only a meditative mind and a quiet mind will be able to find better solutions. So the machine can never get quiet once it starts. But a human mind has the capability of quietening itself. So it's important that you learn a little bit of meditation. That will only help you become a better lawyer. Thank you.
Wonderful. And a very holistic view. Appreciated, Suril Bhai. I go to forum again to hear her views on this.
I absolutely agree with Suril Bhai that number one, we'll have to change, we'll have to adapt, we'll have to be very flexible in our approach, and to find more creative solutions and to get to more creative agreements, we need to get deeper and more introspective. We need to, of course, resort to meditation, which I absolutely agree to him, and I'm very, very happy that he brought this facet over here, because law tech is absolutely different, but how it's important to integrate that human consciousness, awareness, and the holistic perspective that we say is, of course, going to be very helpful here. Again, like I said, technology, any person who knows how to use artificial intelligence to the best of his abilities, if he has entrepreneurial skills, where he uses AI and tech, where technology, he can make it his brilliant assistant or a brilliant junior, he can do wonders. But someone who is just a slave to technology, where he's blindly depending on technology, that person cannot survive in the field anymore. And as lawyers and as judges and of course officers of the court, we need to upskill ourselves. We cannot now have that monotonous mindset that, yeah, let me just do the case management, let me just do the research, let me just do the drafting and I'm done. No, you need to upskill yourself day in and day out, wherein you need to prepare for better arguments, where you need to prepare for better chief examinations in court, where you need to prepare for better cross-examinations in court, because that's where human intellect is going to play a very important role. That's where human intelligence and human element is going to play a key role. So no more law being monotonous and boring and procedural and with delays, but we'll have to be more creative, more solution-oriented, more using technology to our benefit rather than technology making us its slave, and that's the way forward. So of course technology is a boon, and it would be very nice to see it with a very a sense of optimism, and we need to adapt to it, we need to adopt to it, and that's the way forward.
Vaibhavi.
Of course, with my 5-minute speech, you must know that I'm in love with technology, and I will never shy away from using technology. But of course, there are risks, and everything comes with some risk, right? If you have a knife, it is for you to cut vegetables, or if it's for you to rob somebody's purse or something. So you always have the choice. You always have risks in place. It is for you to decide how you're going to be using that for your own benefit. And I am waiting to see so already the shift has begun where people don't study law just to become advocates or lawyers. It has new roles where people are doing legal analysis, people are becoming CTO, and there are some people who are not even lawyers but are running the law organizations at a very premium positions as well. So it's no more a lawyer can run his company, but he'll need the whole system in place where you will need support of people and people who have understanding of law but can add value more than just an understanding of law, where you will do analysis, you will do statistics, you will do many things more. Like, for that matter, I have studied law, but I am completely transitioned into ODR platform. And that's where my passion lies. So the shift is happening, and we just need to be there to experience it, to adapt to it, and keep taking it forward.
Bhavik, we would also like to have your views on this.
So my view is very different. So I'll share that we have an office of 1300 square feet in Fort, but you will be very amazed that I have my 150 case files in this, and that's what my office is now. So that's how the transformation in technology in our practice has helped us to do our practice so easily and conveniently. We have our maximum conferences through VC mode. We have our maximum preparations for the case arguments through use of our iPads and our computers. And we have all our papers scanned properly in our systems, and our office is, at least I'll speak for our office, is a paperless office. So we have embraced technology post-COVID like anything. And where I see is that after a few years, we will have virtual offices, virtual courts, which today people call as a VR world. And that days are coming very close that we will have that part of a reality. So friends, since we have gathered here to discuss a very, very, very interesting topic, I would like to thank each of my speakers who are present today. My way of thanking will be to just highlight their way of contribution for this cause. I will first start with Suril Bhai. He is a part of a Nishit Desai Associates, a law firm, which is very much into the innovative and experimentation and research in technology. One of the noble initiative which I have experienced of the firm is at Alibag, which they have built a institution called Ali Gunjan, which they provide access for any noble cause, free of cost. And ladies and gentlemen, with the crores of rupees of investment, this project was built by Mr. Nishit Desai, and beneficiary of that project, the facilities available to use completely for any noble cause which has use of technology, or you want to have any seminars, webinars, or any kind of discussion which promotes knowledge, which promotes research. They have devoted this entire service for the community free of cost. Similarly, Forum works for Nyay Bandhu, where she is assisting the government organizations to provide pro bono services. So that is also a very good initiative for a young lawyer who not keeping a money-oriented mind, but also feels that the needy people of the society should also be served. So I appreciate her efforts. And similarly, Vaibhavi, that she works for a ODR platform, which ODR platform charges a fee of, assume if you pay 1 lakh rupees for one court hearing, you will be paying barely 5% of that fee for your entire dispute resolution on their platforms, which they are providing the access to the people at large. So in a way, this is a community service, and we also appreciate that gesture, and all the very best to you. First and foremost, before we part with, and platform te ઉભા થયા આયું, उन प्लेटफॉर्म दीन दयाल पांजो महाजन अने महाजन करे ब वर्ड बोलतो बिकॉज आऊँ जेन संस्कार अने जेन संस्कृति साथे वडो थयो अहींया हूँ केटलो छे मैं आव्यो हो कि महाजन पांजा वडील अने वडीले जी जे समाज में के पांजे घरे में जे होदो अने जो उनी जो रिस्पेक्ट होणो खपे. I appeal to all my young friends that friends, when we move ahead in our life, डोंट फॉरगेट दिस मार्जिन इनडायरेक्टली और डायरेक्टली पंहिंजे ग्रोथ में पंहिंजे एंसेस्टर्स जे ग्रोथ में हिन मार्जिन जो गच वॾो सहयोग रह्यो आहे અને માજન કે પાકે પાછો ડેને जी ભાવના રખણી ખપતી એટલે સૌથી વડો ધન્યવાદ કહીયા તો કેવીઓ સ્થાનકવાસી જૈન માજન કે અહીં પ્લેટફોર્મ ઊભો ક્યા અને પ્લેટફોર્મ જે નાતે કેટલા યંગસ્ટર્સ કે અહીં એકડી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી પ્રોવાઈડ કરી રહ્યા આયો અને આંજો તે દાયિત્વો જેન દાયિત્વ સાથે પાંજા વડીલ ઇન માજનજી સ્થાપના ક્યાં વા ઉનકે અહીં અગ્યા વધારે રહ્યા આયો એટલે આ મળી કે ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર. We can take the few questions from the audience. Yes, please.
આજે જે પ્રોગ્રામ રાખ્યો સરસ છે અને ટેકનોલોજી આવકારદાયક છે લીગલમાં અને વાસ્તવિકતાની જે આપણે વાત કરીએ તો આરટીઆઈનો જે કાયદો આવ્યો માહિતી અધિકાર અધિનિયમ 2005ની અંદરમાં આ કાયદો આવ્યો અને એમાં પ્રોએક્ટિવ ડિસ્ક્લોઝર છે જે 17 મુદ્દા છે એ 17 મુદ્દા છે એ ગુજરાતનો લીગલ ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ છે કાયદા વિભાગ એ પોતે આનો ભંગ કરે છે 2005થી કરી 2010 સુધીના એણે બનાવ્યા નથી 2009માં મને જ્યારે અન્યાય થયો છે અને પછી મેં બધા પ્રયત્ન કર્યા છે મને ચોખ્ખું લખીને આપ્યું કે 2005થી 2010 સુધીના અમે બનાવ્યા નથી 2011માં મેં લખેલું ત્યારે મને કે 2011માં અમે આ કરી રહ્યા છીએ કામ ગતિમાં છે આજની તારીખમાં કાયદાનો ભંગ થાય છે તો એ લોકો પાસે ટેકનોલોજી નથી જે મુખ્યમંત્રીઓ બેસે છે જ્યાં 4 મુખ્યમંત્રી થઈ ગયા 2005થી તમે ગણો અને જાણી જોઈને આ બધા અન્યાય કરવામાં આવે છે તો આપ લોકો બોમ્બેમાં છો કચ્છ સાથે જોડાયેલા છો ગુજરાત સાથે તો ગુજરાતના જે પણ હોય આગળ કેન્દ્ર સરકાર કે જ્યાં ત્યાં મારી વિનંતી છે કે આ પ્રોએક્ટિવ ડિસ્ક્લોઝર બનાવડાવો.
હું આપનું જે કન્સર્ન છે એને એડ્રેસ કરીશ આપ પોતાનું સ્થાન ગ્રહણ કરશો. સિન્સ આજના ડિસ્કશનનું માધ્યમ અને ટોપિક એવું છે કે ટેકનોલોજીને અમારી લીગલ પ્રેક્ટિસમાં કેવી રીતે સ્થાન આપવામાં આવ્યું છે એના ઉપર આપણે આજે ડિસ્કશન કર્યું છે. આપનું જે કન્સર્ન છે હું સમજું છું યોગ્ય સ્થાનેથી એનું જે કાર્ય કરવામાં આવે તો કદાચ એને ઉચિત ન્યાય મળે પણ જો કોઈ કાયદાની અંદર કોઈ ગૂંચવણ હોય કોઈ પણ મૂંઝવણ હોય તો એના માટે આપણા બંધારણના અંદર જોગવાઈ છે કે તમે રીટ પિટિશન દ્વારા ગુજરાત હાઈકોર્ટને અપીલ કરી અને તમારી માટે જે પણ યોગ્ય તમને ન્યાય મેળવવો હોય પછી એ સરકાર વિરુદ્ધ હોય કે કોઈ સરકારની કોઈ કચેરી વિરુદ્ધ હોય કે કોઈ ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ વિરુદ્ધ હોય આપે ત્યાંથી ન્યાય મેળવી શકો છો. આજનું જે કાર્યક્રમ છે એ લીગલ એડનું નથી માટે મને અહીંયા જ આને સ્થગિત કરવું પડશે પણ બીજા કોઈને કોઈ પ્રશ્ન હોય જે અમે ટોપિક સંબંધી જે ટોપિક ઉપર અમે બોલી શકીએ અથવા આપને કોઈ બી પ્રકારનું અમારા તરફથી અમારું કોઈ નોલેજ શેર કરી શકીએ તો આપના પ્રશ્ન આવકાર્ય છે.
I have one question.
Please.
She's in the ODR platform, so I just wanted to check existing cases जो already चालू है, can that also be converted to ODR in between?
Yes, yes. You can even તમારું litigation કોઈ કોર્ટમાં ચાલતું હોય અને in between you feel કે there is a scope કે અમે quickly એને resolve કરી શકીએ છીએ with the help of a third person. You can choose to switch to ADR at any point. અને ODR અગર ADR માં અગર તમે ગયા ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ તમારું મીડિયેશન કન્સિલિયેશન આર્બિટ્રેશન સક્સેસફુલ નહીં થયું you can still go back to litigation from the stage you came to ODR or from the suppose pre-institution mediation હોય there is one law in where it pushes 2 lakhs ના ઉપરના જે પણ કેસીસ હોય એ ફર્સ્ટ મીડિયેશન ટ્રાય કરે અને પછી કોર્ટમાં જાય so that court burden ના થાય. So in those situations as well, agar a successful nathi thatu, they can go back to litigation and start their litigation process. So this is just a help which will, for example, successful thai gayo to tamne 60 days, 70 days, 80 days,
Wait,
even for that matter 1 day. We do camps as well, mediation camps as well, jहाँ 1 day ma people were able to resolve their dispute, right? So it's an opportunity where you can resolve your dispute quickly at a lower cost as compared to the litigation process.
And it is all app based, you're saying?
Yeah, it is a platform based. It's a complete, yeah, so app in the sense it's a platform.
Platform based.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are legal provisions to convert your matter into arbitration, mediation or conciliation. Section 89 of the CPC in our Civil Procedure Code has that provision. You can easily refer your matters to ODR for a quick and a cost-effective measure. with this, we are going. Yes, sir. Please pass the mic.
When you go for an EDR or an ODI,
Yes, sir.
there is one arbitrator, and then the two sides of present their case. Now, if the arbitrator is not able to come to a conclusion on certain aspects, would that again push those matters? So, can you give a part?
So, sir,
order?
I understand. So, your concern is that whether arbitrator can adjudicate on all the disputes or part dispute. So, according to the mandate of the arbitrator, he has to deal with each and every dispute which is involved in your matter. If he gives a partial judgment, partial award, the award will be set aside under the provisions of the Indian Arbitration Act, that is section 34, because the mandate of the arbitrator is to deal with each and every dispute or a issue, what we call it as in legal language, to be addressed in his award. If he doesn't do that, that award will be set aside, and what happens as a consequence is, the High Court, which is the appeal court, which will examine the award and its legality, will appoint a fresh arbitrator, a new arbitrator, to ensure that all the disputes, all the issues involved are addressed and are adjudicated.
And if the arbitrator decides on all issues,
Yes.
but on certain issues they decide without
Without
sufficient-
giving proper reasonings, then you can challenge before the court of law. The court of law will then decide that issue, in keeping in mind the equity, justice and principles of law, and your arguments which were not considered in the framework of law. That provision we have, section 34 of the Arbitration Act, which can easily take care of it. Yes, we are very much thankful, and with this we call for this event. Thank you very much for all the participants who encouraged us to express our thoughts before you. Thank you very much.
Hello. I am Yash Nilesh Gala from Gam Toda. I would like to, on behalf of Matushri Maniben Shivji Dhanjik Kalyak Kelwani Fund, I would like to express my gratitude towards our dear panelists for giving their precious time and bestowing their legal knowledge. It would have helped any one of us to know what is the role of technology in law. For this, I would like to invite Mr. Vikas Vira to felicitate Bhavik Lalan.
I would say કે મુકે તો મહાજન કે ડેને જો હે એટલે મુકે મુજો સન્માન કરણું મુકે લાગે તો થોડોક વધારે હે.
Do we have Karan Shah here? Karan Shah, please felicitate our Sir Sunil Desai, sir. I would like to request Ila ma'am to felicitate Forum Gala. Riddhi is felicitating Forum Gala. Lastly, I would like to invite Ila ma'am to felicitate Vaishnavi, ma'am Vaishnavi. Vaibhavi, sorry. Thank you everyone to attend our panel discussion for technology in law.